The explosion wrecked the shafts, and the rescue parties has been directed from the High Colliery, where we've only been able to lower a kibble due to the cages, of course, being out of action. However, it took 12 hours to reach this position.
Yes, I see. Yes, please continue, yes.
The first brave volunteers descended the pit by this route and began clearing the debris. But unfortunately, it is anticipated that the low colliery cages will remain out of action for a number of days and will not be able to effect rescue from this pit to the districts below. With the force of the explosion and the extensive damage to the shafts, it was first believed that every soul in the pit must have perished.
Yes, but what news of any survivors?
We managed to restore some of the ventilation and clear some of the debris. The first rescue team managed to raise 3 men to the ground to the surface around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The second team managed to raise another 3 around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, with 11 more awaiting the turn at the shaft bottom.
If I may interrupt, your lordship,
Yes.
most of the men brought to Bang seemed none the worse for their temporary confinement, although naturally alarmed and shaken. The men who'd been withdrawn, the rescue party sent down refreshments for those waiting at the shaft bottom, and apparently they seemed to be waiting patiently for their turn to be taken up.
Yes, sir. And all the witnesses so far agree, and the evidence is strong to suggest that the explosion occurred in one or other of the main intake galleries near the shaft, and not in the return airways as you'd expect. The whole of the rest of the intakes were greatly damaged and disturbed, and the violence appears to have spread far beyond the area as shown in the sketch.
Good God, not much destruction. We must do something, surely. We must recover my colliery.
The engine house and stables have caught fire. Many of the ponies were found to have suffocated.
Yes, we never mind the damned horses, Stratton. What about the rescue? What is it, man? Come on, spit it out.
Of the 231 men and boys underground, only 30 have so far been rescued. It is...
30? Is that all?
Yes, sir. It's thought that some 169 were working in the affected district at the time of the explosion.
30? I mean, are you certain?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, the rescue teams have been hampered by fallen stones and secondary fires which need extinguishing before they can move into the affected workings.
I'm afraid Sir Stratton suggests, your lordship, we've accounted for 67 men and boys. With every expectation by midnight we'll have them brought to the surface. We must trust in the rescue parties and pray for those yet to be saved.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes? Who the devil are you?
Ralph? What on earth? That's all right, man. Don't look so concerned. How are you feeling? You've had a particularly trying day.
Thank you, Mr. Stratton. I'm doing all right, sir. Thanks very much for asking.
Ralph, what's going on? I mean, who is this Stratton?
That's all right, Marley. I'll explain. This brave fellow is Ralph Marley, sir. Mr. Marley is one of your Hutton Seam deputies, sir, and he was underground at the time of the explosion. He was one of the first men to reach the shaft, but he sent several other men to the surface before being forced to bank by the rescue teams.
Oh, yes, most commendable, Marley, yes, most commendable, yes, yes.
Yes, your lordship. And he, Mr. Marley, after only a brief rest, volunteered to lead the first rescue teams down into the pit. We should all be very grateful for his efforts and extremely proud of his exemplary behaviour.
Begging your pardon, Mr. Stratton, sir, if I might. I'm very grateful for your kind words, sir, but some of the women, the wives and mothers of them still in the pit, sir, they're right worried. They've asked if they can have a word. Some of them can't even get to the pit gates for all them buggers. Begging your pardon, sir.
That's quite all right, Marley.
Yes, your lordship, it's Marley. But if you please, sir, I'm not in the habit of addressing such as your lordship, and I'm just a bit nervous, sir, that's all.
Ralph, there's no need to be nervous. You've done sterling work and served Lord Londonderry very well. So tell me, what is it? You mentioned the women folk. What of them?
Aye, sir, it's the women. I'd like to have a word about the men. They're men, still underground, sir. They're at their wits' end. They don't know what's going on. There's all sorts of rumours flying about.
Where are these women, Marley?
They're at the pit gates, sir. They've had the devil of a job to get that far with all them crowds, but they've asked if they can have a word. All I'm saying is, sir, it wouldn't do any harm. It might put their minds at rest if you let them know that we're doing all we can. From the horse's mouth, if you like, sir, with all due respect.
Stratton, what on earth is going on? For God's sake, man, we can't possibly speak to this rabble, delegation.
Thank you, Mr. Marley. I'm sure you've got better things to do than stand around listening to us. Please go back to the women folk and let them know that his lordship will consider their request, and I'll let you know very shortly. Oh, and Mr. Marley, thank you again, and be assured I will let you know very shortly.
Stratton, what on earth were you thinking, letting such a rabble address his lordship? You cannot be serious. It's out of the question.
Calm yourself, Bell. Calm yourself. Don't be so hasty. Perhaps Stratton has something. My agents tell me that the standing of the Vane Tempest family here at Seaham at the moment is, well, shall we say, less than wholesome. Perhaps I should meet with these women to demonstrate an understanding of our common purpose. Yes, by Jove, I've decided. I will. Stratton, make the arrangements. But be warned, I don't want to come into close proximity with these people, and certainly not with any distance of any potential handshake. I mean, God forbid. Well, come on, man, see to it at once.
Sir.
Your lordship, we have news of the Magdalen Seam.
What is it now, Bell? Don't look so grave, man. Could there be any worse news than my pit's blown up? I mean, God knows what it's going to cost me. What is it now? Out with it, man. Come on.
As you know, sir, I was underground some hours ago, and the rescue operation seemed to be making some progress.
Yes, what news from the Magdalen?
It's the Magdalen Seam, sir.
Yes, I'm well aware it's the Magdalen Seam, Bell. You've just said so. What's the matter, man? Cat got your tongue?
It's caught fire again.
Well, that's good news, isn't it?
The men just underground are of the opinion that the only way to starve off the fire is seal off the district.
That's good news. What are you not telling me?
There are 28 men still unaccounted for in the Magdalen Seam. The rescue teams have been unable to reach them.
I beg your pardon. Are you absolutely certain? We must do something, surely.
I'm afraid not, sir. They've done anything that was humanly possible. I'm afraid it's a case of sealing off the district or losing the entire pit.
What
It's
about
our
when
only option.
what when the Times hears of this, eh? What are the families there at the gates? What are they going to think of me when we tell them we've buried their men and boys, eh? Answer me that. Good God! We've just sent Stratton to fetch them. You must stop him. I couldn't possibly
I'm
fit
afraid
them now.
it's too late for that, sir.
My lord, Mr. Bell, may I present these ladies who represent the wives and the mothers of those still awaiting the news of their men and boys still underground. They are most distressed, as you can see, but they've asked, with your kind permission, if they may address your lordship to... I'm sorry, ladies, can you please excuse us for a moment?
No! I'm sorry, Mr. Stratton, but we never thought we'd get this far, and we're not leaving now, sir. With all due respect, sir, your lordship, we've been at them pit gates now for ages, and we're moving further forward. We need to know what's happening with our men and boys. When are they going to be brought out the pit? That's all I want to know, Mr. Stratton. It's not that much to ask, is it, sir?
Mr. Bell, what is it, sir? What has changed since I left this office?
Not here, not now, Stratton.
Begging your pardon, sir, but we're not leaving. Not till we know what's going on with our men and boys. We need to know what's going on. We'll wait all night.
Mr. Bell, what is it, sir? What has changed? You may as well tell them. We're all in this together now. They're going to find out soon enough.
Very well, Stratton, but on your head be it. The rescue teams have tried everything, but the Magdalen seam has caught fire again. All hope of reaching the trapped men seems to be lost. You must understand, we must save the pit. The men coordinating the rescue, Stratton, you know them. They wouldn't take such a momentous decision lightly. You must understand, surely you do.
What decision?
It's the Magdalen, Stratton, it's caught fire again. And the managers underground have the opinion that the only way to save the pit is to seal the district off immediately. It's our only option. You must see that. We must act now and save the pit.
What's he mean, Mr. Stratton? Seal it off? What's that mean?
They're going to close it up. Starve the fire of oxygen to kill it.
Close it? Kill the fire? Would that mean?
Yes, I'm afraid so. How many?
We must pray for their souls.
How many?
There are 28 in the Magdalen seam still unaccounted for.
What do you mean there's neither option? What about the promises you made? What about the old men and boys? You can't just abandon them. Please say you're going to get them out. Say something, your lordship, please. We're begging you, please. Please, please.
God have mercy on their